Hi, I'm Carmen Savage. I do biology A-level, and in this video we are going to be going over some things that might come up due to the fact they haven't come up in previous exams, and how the things that might come up could link to things in that we studied at AS, because you know they like throwing those things back in again. Shall we still know them? Salmon is a kind people. Anyway, so in this one we're going to be in the module of photosynthesis, but we're going to be looking at autotrophs and heterotrophs and how that relates to AS. So what are autotrophs and what are heterotrophs? Well, autotrophs are organisms that can synthesize complex organic molecules such as carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids, vitamins, blah blah blah. They synthesize these from inorganic molecules as an energy source. And the first life forms on Earth were chemoautotrophs. And these are prokaryotes that synthesize complex organic molecules using energy derived from exogonic chemical reactions. And lots of bacteria are chemoautotrophs. For example, the nitrifying bacteria are important in the recycling of nitrogen. They're chemoautotrophs. And these obtain their energy from oxidizing ammonia to nitrate, or oxidizing nitrate to... Sorry. So they're completely wrong. They obtain their energy from oxidizing ammonia to nitrite, or oxidizing nitrite to nitrate. So the way around. There are also chemotrophs living in darkness near thermal oceanic vents, and these are supporting very specific food chains in those areas. Now, organisms that can photosynthesize are described as photoautotrophs. Easy to remember: photosynthesis, photoautotrophs. Simples. And, sorry, something just made a really odd noise. I don't know what it was. Anyway, their source of energy is sunlight, and the raw materials are inorganic molecules, CO2 and water. Plants and bacteria and some proctopsis, such as algae are photoautotrophs, and the majority of food chains on Earth have producers that are photoautotrophs. So now we've gone over the autotrophs and all the different things, but what are heterotrophs? Well, animals, fungi and some bacteria are heterotrophs. They cannot make their own food but digest complex organic molecules into simpler soluble ones, from which they synthesize complex molecules such as lipids, proteins and nucleic acids. So if you want just a little 2 key definitions, if you're like, great, I know that stuff, but how would I write that for 2 marks in the exams? Autotrophs are organisms that use light energy or chemical energy and inorganic molecules to synthesize complex organic molecules. Heterotrophs are organisms that ingest and digest complex organic molecules, releasing the chemical potential energy stored in them. Great. So we've done that. So how does that relate to what we learn at AS, and how could they bring that up again? Now, if you're doing a CR and you still have this book, get it out again. It made me cry when I found it, because I was like, oh no. Also, it made me cry because I think I'm going to be retaking the last exam in June. Let's try and get an A in it. I don't think I'll be able to because it's horrible. But anyway, the way that they could relate this is in the 5 kingdoms. Now, do you remember what the 5 kingdoms are? Well, traditionally all living things have been grouped into a number of kingdoms. For many years the generally accepted number of kingdoms was 2. All living things were plants or animals. But as more living things were discovered and studied closely, it became clear that not all living things could actually fit into, easily into one of these categories. Like, they could be like, well, this is kind of like a plant, because it does this. It looks like an animal. So people are like, oh, I could do them with plants. And they'd be like, yeah, but it does this. And they'd be like, no, alright, put it with the animals. Yeah, but it photosynthesizes, plants. So that got really confusing. For some years now, the accepted number of kingdoms have been 5, and that's what we have to know. The 5 are prokaryotes, protocysts, fungi, plants, and animals. Now these kingdoms have got special names, like the prokaryotes are the organisms belonging to the kingdom Prokaryota. The protocysts, they're members of the kingdom Protocyssa, the fungi are members of the kingdom fungi, plants are members of the kingdom Plantae, and animals are Animalia. But what's the difference between all of these? First of all, I'm going to go through the key definitions and just go duh, 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 duh. Prokaryotes have no nucleus. Protoctists include all the organisms that don't fit into the other 4 categories. Many are single-celled, but some are multicellular. Fungi are organisms that are mostly saprophytic. They consist of mycelium with walls made from chitin. Plants are multicellular organisms that gain their nutrition from photosynthesis, and animals are heterotrophic multicellular eukaryotes. So let's have a look at them a bit more in depth. Prokaryotes. They belong to prokaryota. They include the bacteria and the cyanobacteria, and prokaryote means before nucleus. Their main features is that they have no nucleus, they've got a loop of naked DNA that is not arranged in linear chromosomes, they've got no membrane-bound organelles, they have smaller ribosomes than in other groups, they carry out respiration not in the mitochondria but on special membranes, they have cells smaller than those of eukaryotes, and they may be free-living or parasitic. Some cause diseases. If you were doing... I doubt they would like connect this up, but if they did like use it as summary, they could bring in like disease, because many prokaryotes do cause disease. So that's like another synoptic link. Okay, protoctists. They're eukaryotes, they're mostly single-celled, they show a wide variety of forms, they show various plant-like or animal-like features, which is so helpful, it's such a specific group. They're mostly free-living, and they have autotrophic or heterotrophic nutrition. Great. It's basically everything that's thrown in there. The only thing that protoctists have in common is that the only thing that all protoctists have in common is that they don't qualify to belong in any of the 4 kingdoms. You can't get 2 and they'd have exactly the same features. You can never get that in the protoctist kingdom, because it's a stupid kingdom. Okay, next one, fungi. Well, the members of the kingdom of fungi are a group of organisms in which the body consists of a mycelium. A mycelium is a network of numerous strands called hyphae. Their cytoplasm is surrounded by a wall of polysaccharide called chitin or chitin. I don't really know how you say it. The cytoplasm is usually not divided into cells, and it's got loads of nuclei, which means it's multinucleate. A few fungi are cellular. The fungi, let's go, you ready for the bullet points? They're eukaryotes. They have a mycelium, which consists of hyphae, have wall made of chitin, have cytoplasm that is multinucleate, and are mostly free-living and saprophytic. What does saprophytic mean? It means that they cause decay of organic matter. Yep, super. Next, plants. Green plants are all multicellular organisms, and they gain their nutrition from photosynthesis, which means they are autotrophs. You should know what that means. I've said it loads in this video. The plants are eukaryotes, multicellular, have cells surrounded by a cellulose cell wall. They produce multicellular embryos from fertilized eggs, and they have autotrophic nutrition. Nice. The final one, the simple one, animals. Woo! That is us. The animals are multicellular organisms that gain their nutrition by digesting and absorbing organic matter. They are heterotrophic. Animals are eukaryotes, multicellular, have heterotrophic nutrition, have fertilized eggs that develop into balls of cells called a blastula, and are usually able to move around. Yay! Nice. You want some questions on that to just help your synopsize? You could describe the difference between fungi and plants, or you could produce a table to compare the prokaryotes with the protoctists. Yay! So that was good. Yeah, I think that is all we should really look at in that bit. Not been that long a video, it's been an alright one. You can tell I've got a bit more ready. I put a little bow in my hair. Yeah, so good luck in your exam tomorrow, or whenever you have your exam. I hope it goes really, really well. So, bye.